Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 6 of The Unexpected Heiress. And this book is getting interesting with every passing week. And by this point, I'm starting to feel like this is perhaps the best book of this year in its genre, that is mystery genre, and out of all the genres, the way it's progressing. As of the last chapter, we see we're at the inn, and the innkeeper just told us that Amelia used to come there with another person who is not Francis, and they used to stay in a room, and she used to call that person her husband. And then we do some pressuring and here and there to show us the register where Amelia's name would be registered with the other person. And then Hughes was there, so he helps us with some, like how this can affect the business and stuff. We get the register, we go through it, and we found the person who Amelia delivered the money to. So they didn't use their real names. So that person, we don't know yet who that person really is, because that's still the person who Amelia gave the money to. And Amelia used our name instead of her name, Katie, that was my main character's name, and with the title or the surname, that I can't remember, some Witherington or something, and that was also a made up title that our main character and Amelia made up while playing as a kid. So that was quite interesting. And then we go to the room and we see there was only one bed. So the chapter's name, as it suggests, it's a sordid affair. So if they stayed in a room and there was only one bed, and even Hughes goes on to say that it was really a small one. So we get out of that, we go to the manor, and we're still thinking about this, how all of these things turned out. And then next we make a trip to London to meet our Aunt Maudie in London House. So our main character and Effie go out, and on the way, so the journey, the music, so we first ride a car, I suppose, and then we go to the station, so the train track and everything. It was quite interesting how they pulled it off, the old times train line and everything, so railway track. It was really awesome, a great chapter with great music. And there we meet Lady Gamma, and she accompanies us to London, and we go there, we go to our aunt's house, but unfortunately our aunt was not there. So the caretaker of the house, we deliver the gift to him, and we go away. And we also learn that our aunt could have been helping Amelia if Amelia was having an affair, because our aunt was sort of a rebellious type, and our aunt did have some affairs here and there with a lot of people. So romantically, she was involved with more than one man. That was quite interesting. And then we haven't told Lady Gamma yet about Amelia, but we visit some places here and there. So next we make a trip to the Somerset house where Amelia actually died. We visit the place, we get nostalgic, we feel sad about Amelia. We go to Amelia's room, we go through all the books and chores, and we get the name of a hospital there in London. So we plan to visit that next. If he doesn't go with us, she waits outside and Lady Gamma joins in, and we talk with the receptionist of the hospital, and she was not ready to tell us anything, and we get a diamond scene. We can take help from Lady Gamma. So Lady Gamma will pursue that receptionist to tell us more, and the receptionist will tell us that, of course, again, Amelia used to come there, but with the alias of our name, so that Kitty, and that was our main character name. And this was really interesting. And she also told us about certain earl and countess who lives in the London, or in the outskirts of London, or in the London. So that's not in Somerset family's region. So that was really interesting, and also how London was described with smoke and everything, how Lady Gamma describes it. It was really interesting. So we need to look for this Earl and Viscountess. Then you get out of there, but you also sneak a key. So you go to Amelia's locker, and you find a lot of things that we really think that Amelia probably didn't just die alone, but Amelia could well be carrying a child. So probably she was pregnant because we find a box full of child toys, stuff like that. So it will be a big plot twist if Amelia died with a baby. That'd be interesting. And we doubt that this baby was not Francis's baby, but this was that mysterious person's baby. Then we get out of there, but before getting out, we get sort of handsy with Lady Gamma. So we share some intimate moments, not like intimacy, but heart to heart moments, let's just say. And we talk about Lady Gamma, how she felt, and how she felt about the arranged marriage, and then we get out. We tell Lady Gamma about the foul play, but we didn't tell her that Francis and our marriage is a hoax, not yet. So she's a bit jealous and hurt. Then we get out and we meet with Effie, and then Lady Gamma goes to search on this Earl and Countess, and then Effie and our main character, we go to a coffee shop there. Not a coffee shop, it was like a where we drink tea, and there we meet John arguing with a what seems like a soldier or general. So we get a diamond scene to drink tea with John, and this was a really nice chapter. We get to learn more about John and why John left India, and why like how the British Emperor sort of how they treated India, and how John thought he would be treated, and John made a friend there. So this was a guy, and literally what they used to, the British Emperor, what they used to do, sort of take everything or torture people. So, and even John's friend was like became a person who used to live on the street with next to nothing to wear. So this was really hard for John, and after that, he thought even if he can't change anything, he will just leave it. So we can comfort John that it's not your fault, but your heart's in the right place and everything. So this was really nice, and John even so for me, I chose the brown John. So he even says like those people were tortured just because their skin color was like my skin color. So this was a really good job because John is a gender customizable character. So depending on what race you're choosing, you're having these different conversations. I plan to make a video on that. I have 2 or 3 scenes, and this is really interesting. And then we spend a nice time there. Then with John, we can get back to our place, and getting back there we'll sort of eavesdrop and hear some of the servants sort of gossiping, and then we'll hear that butler and the person who runs the woman who runs the household, and before who we thought sort of had a grudge against Amelia, we hear them talking about that woman because that woman can't stand Gamma, because Gamma is a free woman and likes to do whatever she wants. So now it all sort of clicks back that woman who runs the household in Somerset family, she was not talking ill about Amelia. She didn't have a grudge against Amelia being a girl with free will, but it was about Gamma. So now we have played It Lives Beneath, we have played Veil of Secrets. So it's always like that, and it seemed like that butler and the woman, Miss Whatmore or something, Mrs. Whatmore, I mean, who runs the whole household in Somerset family, they could have had something to do with our sister Amelia's murder, because they couldn't stand our main character or Amelia, or they couldn't even they were happy about Amelia's death. We thought about that, but now it's like no, she was talking about Lady Gamma and the death of Lady Gamma's husband. So this was quite interesting. So now there we go. 2 suspects eliminated. Francis eliminated. So it would be interesting to see where this goes. And that's why I said this is how great mystery books are written. This is how great mystery books are formed. And Charles is doing an awesome job with that. So next we can play as F. It's a dimension, because we sort of know that who this Earl and Viscountess are who live in London. And we play as Effie to meet one of the maid who work there, and we go to the park, we talk with the maid, and she says that for a hunting week or something, Amelia used to go there. So Amelia was there and Francis was not, and one of the servants of that Earl and Countess, they left a note for Amelia, and that created a scandal. Like someone would meet them, Amelia, in the stable. But Amelia never showed up. But one of the servants did show up. But eventually, that servant didn't get fired, or of course, the servant faced some reprimands, some repercussions, but nothing really bad happened to the servant. And Amelia didn't go, so they kept it all hush hush, because they didn't want the reputation to be ruined or something, or create a scandal. So, and the maid also didn't know much about that. And with this piece of information, we were really worried, like what could have happened. Maybe Amelia didn't want this person, or there someone was blackmailing her, or the money. Probably they were hoping for an elopement, or to save this person, or just to, could be anything. It's just it's standing at a very sensitive point. And then next time we see Lady Gamma bursting in our room and handing us an invitation card. It's a ball. It's an invitation of a ball hosted by that Earl and Countess in their place, and Lady Ashbourne and Lord Ashbourne, our main character, everyone with Francis, who are going to marry. We're going to go to their place, and if this person who Amelia was with, and Amelia called husband on various occasions, if this person is going to be there, we can sniff out everything from him. We can literally just charge him and get the truth out of him. So this is going to be really interesting, and I can't wait to see how this unfolds. The next chapter, Ballet of the Ball. So this is going to be really interesting. We're gonna finally meet the person, and also it says you are gonna be with Francis. That's what people know, but where your heart lies. So your heart could lie with John, Hughes, or Lady Gamma. At the point, Hughes and John, they're looking like great love interests. And John, kind of, if you choose the brown John, he reminds me of Adam from America's Most Eligible. So I'll most probably go with John. Our main character in John would look really good. And Hughes, he's also really good. Lady Gamma's good, definitely, but I don't think I'll go with her. So it's going to be between Hughes and John. I think with John, MC can have the most chemistry. Let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about this? And this mystery is getting more and more interesting with the passing time. And definitely the music also they played, the scenes they had, like I really liked watching or reading something about the old times, and it's from 1914 or something. So they basically tell us the story of that old time period, and like how they represented the time, the music also they use. So even from It Lives, from Haunting of Braided Manor, from Blades of Light and Shadow, and so royal music they also have. So a blending of all the various musics, and the way it comes out is just super awesome, and it's a great book. And also, you see, this is a great plot, but you look at the love interest, even with like Lady Gamma or John or Hughes, they're even more interesting than I would say, quite frankly. I know it's a different genre, but you don't need to get hookups in with every chapter to just get the bond with the character. And this book shows you. And this is perhaps the best book of this year. I mean, there are lots of contenders like Queen Bee. It's still going to show it's yet to show its full potential. There is Wake the Dead. There is Shipwrecked still going on. There is Surrender coming out. We'll have to keep an eye out for this. And we have Crimes of Passion. But nevertheless, this book is definitely a good one. It's going to give a run for their money to all the books, Wake the Dead and everything. And God forbid they should not end up as a romance book, because this has everything. It has romance, it has the mystery, it has everything, and awesome book. I can't wait for next week to read the next chapter. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace out. But let's talk in the comments. I can't wait. Peace out.